What is going on, people? Welcome to the Honor Level Podcast, episode 28. Again, rocking it solo. We're just gonna go solo for a bit. I think it's more important to have regular uploads than it is to make sure that there's a guest. Again, people are just I definitely need to rethink how I'm doing this because yeah, something's not working. But either way, we're doing a solo one today. And we're addressing something that's mainly happened over social media, over Instagram. It's not nothing serious, but I feel like it can lead into a very interesting discussion. And so anyone who follows me on Instagram knows that I pissed off Nter. That is the easiest way to put it. So I reacted to Nter's track with Sesk and Uzi, yc.uzi. And in that reaction, I didn't really enjoy the track that much. I was like, the track's okay, but it's not really for me. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I don't love it. And, you know, that's ruffled a few feathers, apparently. Now, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's upset Sesk and Uzi, but they've not said anything to me. They've not put anything on social media. This is me talking specifically about Nter. So, obviously, I've put out my reaction. I've woke up in the morning to an at mention, and Nter's gone on to say this. Nter's gone on at IAmChazza McQueen, at me. Please, in the future, don't do any reactions to any of my music. You never give credit where credit is due, saying shit like, why do people fuck with my music so much? That goes to show you know nothing about our culture, our city, our music. The opinion of some kid from another country doesn't sum up what I have done for this scene. Real talk. Okay. There is very little in his statement I agree with. Like, that's the truth. There's very little I agree with. But I can understand where he's coming from for the most part within this. And so again, I don't, part of me doesn't even want to really touch on this. I kind of just want to keep it moving, but there was too many DMs and too many mixed opinions on it all, you know, and people giving their 2 cents. And just to make it very clear, just before I continue, I don't hate Nter. I don't dislike him even. I still have respect for him, you know. I've bigged him up plenty of times in the past, whether that be during a reaction or even in podcast discussions where I've mentioned his name in one of the OGs, and especially people who's associated with gutter rap in the earliest days of it, you know. And it's been about for a hot minute. Like, yeah, I agree with him there, definitely, but I've never downplayed that, and nor in my reaction did I downplay that whatsoever. So obviously Nter's upset by me, you know, reacting to this and not liking his song, which it is, of course it is his song, but it actually obviously in the title says Uzi featuring Nter and Sesk, and then it was uploaded on Nter's track. So I don't know if they're putting Uzi's name first, because and I could be wrong within saying this, I believe it was his first song. It was his first song that I knew of at the very least. So I don't know if they were just trying to get his name out there a little bit more, like getting him that exposure, that bit more of respect on it. Or if they did it because they see him as the staple of that track, which he is, obviously, delivering that hook. But yeah, so it's uploading on Nter's channel anyway. So these posts have gone up. I've replied on social media, and I've said, you know, like... sorry if I've pissed you off, sorry if you've misinterpreted something, but I never said, why do people fuck with your music? And again, by the way, people, if I am misquoting anything, correct me. Full apologies. If I'm wrong, go and correct me. And so yeah, Nter DM me, and I won't air the DMs, but I do, it's difficult, I'm about to contradict myself now. I don't want to like show the DMs, because obviously I don't have his permission to do that, not that I've asked for it, but I do want to touch on 1 or 2 things that were said in on our very short conversation, because I feel like it leads into a very interesting subject. So the Nter then DM'd me first. So once I've replied on the Instagram, in my head I was thinking, right, this is the only reply I'm doing, and I'm not going to do a back and forth. I'll DM him if anything goes back and forth. But he replied straight away. He DM'd me straight away, and he claimed that I have said, why do people fuck with him, in a previous video. And again, I really highly doubt I've said that. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to do the 100% I'm right and you're wrong, but I am 99% sure in myself I've not turned around and said, why do people even fuck with his music? I have not said that I really highly doubt I have said that in any capacity. There is only one or two people I could have probably ever say that about, Wombat's X being one of them. All right, with that diss track a while ago, which is a whole discussion point in itself, but I'm not going to touch on that today. I remember reacting to that diss track at the time, and I remember being like, oh, who the fuck would listen to it? I remember being like that. But normally, with an artist, I normally have respect enough to the point where even if I don't like the track, I just either move on, don't post a reaction, or if I have put something out, I turn around and say, look, this isn't for me, but shout out them, you do you, big man. Because 8 times out of 10, that artist is doing more numbers than me, or they're doing bigger things than me in the scene. So, you know, Nter has done more for Australia than I have. Like, yes, that is the truth. Like, I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to downplay that. But again, we'll get onto that in a moment. So, he's claimed that I've said, why do people fuck with his music so much? Or why do people even fuck with him? And I'm a little bit like, bro, I don't know where we're getting this from. I have not said that. He then goes on to say, after a few messages back and forth, he then goes on to say this, and this is the only other thing that I'll air. And this is to quote him, by the way. I don't do music for views and other people's opinions. I do this shit because it's my way of expressing how we live. I don't do music for views and other people's opinions. I do this shit because it's my way of expressing how we live. And I replied with, I agree with you. As an artist, as someone who makes music myself, I agree with you. And he read that and then left that there. Nothing more was said. Now, this is where I see a contradiction, and I'm a little bit confused at where Nter's headspace is at with this. Because on Instagram, he said that I'm some kid from another country. Some kid from another country. Now, if I'm some kid from another country, my opinion shouldn't matter. But this is why I'm a little bit confused. So on Instagram, on the stories, you know, Nter seems bothered. He seems bothered by my opinion in that video. But then in the DMs, he's saying, well, I don't do this shit for other people's opinions. That's where I see the contradict. You do care and you don't care. Now, I'm going to defend Nter here. Because this game is full of contradicts. This game it's a hypocritical game to be a rapper. It is. Even an artist, you could argue, but specifically a rapper, and I'll touch on that in a moment. As an artist, you put a lot of time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears, money even, into making a video, an EP, an album, whatever it is, whatever your project is. Artists put a lot into that, you know? And for somebody to then come out and say that shit, that can be hurtful. Like, you have put 25 hours into making this single, from production to writing to studio to getting it mixed to artwork and everything you do to get uploaded, then promotion, and you're hammering the promotion and the build up, and then it drops, and then someone goes, oh, fuck you, you dog. Like, I can understand if that's upsetting. Now, obviously, I've said that this track isn't for me, but I said, look, Nter, I fuck with Nter. I really fuck with Sesk. Sesk is cold. This is my first time seeing Uzi. I weren't feeling it, but it doesn't mean I won't check his shit out in the future. So I'm showing respect to the artist and also saying, look, maybe this song isn't for me. I didn't say the song was trash. I didn't say that they are trash artists. And I definitely didn't say, why do people even fuck with this? You know? We as artists, typically, I won't say everyone, because I'm sure you'll find examples where there are people who do the opposite. But as artists, we tend to play it off like we don't care. But this is a sensitive thing for us. Like, it's easy to say, I don't care, fuck the haters, love to all the people showing support. And yeah, I agree with that, you know? But I think it bothers some way more than others. I'm at a point, for me, I'm speaking on behalf of Chazza here, not behalf on anybody else. I'm at a point where I can definitely handle constructive criticism, whether I agree with it or not. I can definitely comfortably in myself deal with 98% of negative comments towards my videos and music. And the reason why is because 9 times out of 10, it's a fuck you, you gronk, fuck you, you dog, fuck you, you skinny little piece of shit, rare. You get the idea. Now, that's just saying fuck you for the sake of saying fuck you. I could put on Instagram, good morning, everyone. Somebody could say exactly the same thing. Whether I was putting out a piece of my content or whether I was just putting a post of a picture of me, let's say. That's something that's so generic you can say to anyone. There's no context behind it. I don't know the reason why you think that. And so with the lack of context, I can't be annoyed at somebody who's doing that. Maybe someone has just lost their brother, or someone's just, I don't know, been kicked out of their house, or I don't know, their girl cheated on them. They could be having the worst day of their life. And so that anger has to go somewhere, and it just happens to be me. Alright, so be it. If you knew that person was going through that, you wouldn't judge them for their actions nowhere near as much. Now, bringing this to Nter, I have given my opinion and I've given my reasons why I perhaps may not like the track. It's not that I even said I hated it. Just said it's just not for me. Maybe it even grow on me over time. But right now, just not feeling it. And that's not the first time that I've said that. I've said that with a bag of artists. I've said that about a Chillin' It track. I've said that about a Cursor track. I've said that about plenty of top artists who I still love and respect to the highest. And at times I've turned around and said, yeah, this ain't it, chief. You can do better than that, in my opinion. Hey, that might be your favorite song. Might be your favorite song. But we have different tastes in music. Do you as an individual like dubstep or heavy metal or jazz or classical? Well, if I've named one of them or even all of them that you don't like, then don't like it. That's genres. Then within hip hop, do you like absolutely everything you listen to? Guarantee not. Guarantee not. And I guarantee that majority of people who don't like it, obviously, probably don't say nothing. But majority of people, when they don't like something and want to share that opinion, they don't do that in a constructive way. Now, some people do. Now, I've touched on it in a constructive way, in a respectful way, where I'm saying, look, not for me, lads, but you do you. It seems that Nter's taken this very personally, as if I've disrespected him. And again, from my standpoint, maybe there's a cultural difference in this where I've said something in a way or somehow that has offended him, that maybe in Australia, if you say something in that way, it offends you. But for me, I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. And again, point it out if I have said anything that is just bang out of order. And so, despite how I've gone about it, I have criticized his music. And as I said, this is a sensitive thing for us. This game is a contradict. Music is kind of like our children. Our music is the children to an artist. We have children for our own sakes. It's like, I want to have children. And then as they're born, it goes from your selfish wants and needs, and it's supposed to be about the music. It's meant to be about your child. Everything you do is for that child. Everything you do is for that music. You know, to take care and nurture and watch it grow with you. As you grow as a person, as you grow as a father or a mother or as a person, as you grow as an artist, your music, your child grows with you. And you do everything you can to nurture that and help it grow. But the true nature of parenting is people then start to cater their parenting and their growth based on other people's opinions. Some artists start for the right reasons and then may get swayed by the masses and what the audience want to see from them. They may lean into some of the trends because that's what the cool thing is to do nowadays. The same way I see parents doing some social media things because it looks nice for social media, but is it what's best for your actual child? It's nice to have the fancy video, but is it what's best for your music? And in some cases it's organic, it works, but in other cases it feels forced. You know as an individual what's best for your child. You as an artist should know what's best for your music. And sometimes we get outside advice and it is organic and it's great. It's natural. And it helps us. It helps us see a perspective that perhaps we didn't see. And sometimes we get other people to help. We get other people to babysit or help take care of our stuff. Of our children. And the same way we get features and sometimes you get management and labels and you get other artists and you get producers and guitarists and pianists and, you know, other people to help you. So we as the parents of our music sometimes get other people to help us. But yet ultimately, that's your child, that's your music. And them decisions are down to you. Most people still change their behaviors and their actions based on what other people think. Artists need to stop proving how good they are as a parent of their music. Artists, I think I've gone off track a little bit, but I hope you see where I'm coming from. The reason I say all of that is to say this. Because it's your child, because you have been there to watch it grow, and because you have nurtured it into the career that you have, into the child that they have grown up to be now, it's sensitive, touches your soul, it touches your heart whenever anything negative happens. If you hear that your child has had a fight in school and is injured, you feel a way about it. And that's the same. You wake up to see somebody on the internet hating on your child, on your music. That's hurtful. You feel away. Now, if a teacher explains, look, your child has done this wrong, and let's go about the right ways of fixing that. To me, I see that as the equivalent of constructive criticism. Yes, I am criticizing your child, but this is what we can do to make it better. This is what we can do to fix that. Obviously, music being slightly more opinion-based. Well, a lot more opinion-based. Because ultimately, I could, hit a random beat and be like, that's music. Who are you to say that that can't be my new single? I call it Touch Wood. You know? And so this is where this is a hypocritical game. Because who am I, a 21-year-old male from London, England, to criticize somebody over in, I believe, Sydney, Australia? I really do apologize. Somebody in Australia. Or is he Melbourne? Sydney or Melbourne? I apologize. I should know that. And so that plays into what Nter's saying. What the fuck do I know? And I even said that in a video. Who am I to judge your music? This is just my opinion. Now, obviously, I understand that my opinion may carry more weight than some people in the comment section. Why? Because, well, I have a following. I have some level of influence, meaning that sometimes the opinion that I give can sway what other people think. Especially if through my videos, it's the first time them hearing the song, which some people do. Some people say, I don't listen to the song until I've seen, I want to watch it along with you because you gas it up or you give your thoughts or you give your honest opinion. And so I've given my honest opinion. Now, I can understand where someone might be frustrated at that, because if I don't big it up, if I start criticizing certain aspects of it, I can understand that people will be frustrated with that because, well, I'm swaying some people's opinions. But then that doesn't fall into your statement of, I don't care, I don't do this for other people's opinions. If you don't care about other people's opinions, you're going to put out your music and you're going to go about your business, big man. If you do care, then you might respond to that, which Nter has here. You have responded to what I have said. Now, as I said, I disagree with some of your points, but I can see where you're coming from, and I can understand why you would perhaps be frustrated or upset with what I've said, to an extent. Going back to the beginning, I have never said, or I very highly doubt that I have ever said, I don't fuck with Nter, and why do people even bother listening to him? Let's go through his statement one more time. Let me put it on this side. Please, in the future, don't do reactions to any of my music. Okay? If Nter doesn't want me to react to his music, okay, I won't react to your music. I'll get a bunch of DMs and comments saying, why haven't you reacted to it? And I'll just explain, look, Nter doesn't want me to react. Okay? Cool. You never give credit where credit is due. First thing I disagree with. I have reacted to plenty of Nter tracks in the past, and I have bigged up majority of them. There might be one or two others that I've gone, maybe not it. But for the most part, I've only had positive things to say about Nter. And I have brought him up outside of discussion without being prompted. So outside of a reaction to his music, I have brought up his name in a positive light. Saying shit like, why do people fuck with my music so much? And again, never said that. That just goes to show you know nothing about our culture, our city, our music. Somebody put a comment out. Or was it a DM? Maybe. I don't know. I'm getting confused because there's a lot of comments and a lot of DMs that I've had on Instagram because of it. Somebody said, Chazza probably knows more about our scene than 80% of people who listen to music from the scene. Now, I can't prove if that's true. Would I like to say I have a wider knowledge than the average listener? Maybe. Of course, there's going to be bits that I miss out in history because I haven't been there to live through it. And so I can see where Nter's coming from in terms of who are you to talk about our culture and our cities and our country's music. Okay, fine. I can respect the intent behind that statement. Does it go as far as saying I know nothing? I'd say I know a little bit more than nothing. Do I know it all? No. I'll be the first one to say I don't know it all. I've still got plenty to learn. But I'm willing to learn. I am willing to learn, and I've taken a massive interest, a massive love in learning this culture. The opinion of some kid from another country doesn't sum up what I have done for this scene. Well, the opinion from this kid from another country has touched on what you have done for the scene. And people have gone, that's a great analysis, or I didn't know that. So I have actually positively informed some people about you. Now, with that statement, that sounds a bit wild out of context. No, I'm not the reason that people know about you. You have probably a bigger fan base than me. I'm 99% sure you have more numbers than me as well. Because I know sometimes numbers doesn't match actual influence. But yeah, Nter, you are more known than me, to my knowledge anyway. You are probably more widely respected. You are probably, and you are definitely more influential in the scene than I am, from my opinion. Some people may disagree. Some people probably strongly agree and more. But to say I know nothing and have done nothing for this scene is a lie. I wouldn't agree with that. And he says real talk. And so from his opinion, he reckons everything that he's said is facts. And again, I can respect that. If that's what you think, that's your opinion. Same way, what I'm saying now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I'm giving you my opinion. So that people from a neutral standpoint can look at this situation and form their own opinion. Once again, I'll make it very clear. I do not hate Nter, and I do not want people to go over to Nter's Instagram, YouTube, etc., and go start hating on him and DMing negative comments. Go support him. Now, I've had a lot of DMs. A few comments on YouTube, but a lot of DMs saying, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna shank you, this, that, and the other. One of them was prompted, to be fair. I was petty with one of them, admittedly. He said something, you're this, that, and the other, and he used the wrong use of your. He didn't use you are. So I was petty with that one. I was asking for that one, to be fair. But there's others that were unprovoked. Alright, cool. If you want to call me a piece of shit because I didn't like a song, that's one thing. But to say, like, I'm going to kill you, you cunt, I'm going to dislike every single video that you ever put out from here on out, I think that's a bit far, big man. Now, I don't think Nter's told people to go and do that. I'm 95% sure that Nter hasn't gone, oh, go fucking hate on Chazza. I hope not, anyway. I doubt he would do something like that. But obviously, he has a loyal fan base that are going to defend him and back what he says. He's put this out on Instagram. A bunch of people have gone over to my Instagram, over to my YouTube, and has backed him. And that's fair enough. That's a fan base. You know what I mean? I had the same thing with Cursor. When I said I didn't like Cursor Dead Set 5, I had a shitload of messages in the same nature. Fair enough. People are backing their boy. They're backing their guy. They're backing their favorite artist or one of their favorite artists. Let's go as far as that. Yeah, alright, bit far. But I'll move on, big man. Because I'm in a point, me, Chazza McQueen, where I do care about what other people think. I'm not going to sit and say I don't care about what people think. I just give more shits about what I think than what you think. Positive or negative. Somebody says to me, Chazza, you were the fucking king of Australia. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, but I'm not going to take too much of that in. I don't want an inflated ego, and I actually disagree with you. I'm not the king of Australia. You want to say king of Australian reaction videos? Yeah, give you that. That's the only one that I'll half agree with. Now, the same goes if someone says, fuck you, you absolute dog. Okay. I've heard you. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to just keep it moving, big man. Have a good day. Have a good time. And that's what I want to respond to people. If someone said that to my face, that's what I'd say. I'd say, okay, big man. What have you done? Okay, how's your day? What's going bad in your life right now to have this negative energy? And I know that's such a cliche thing. People only hate because they've got nothing good in their life. I could give that whole speech easily. And so people are loyal to their artists. And another one, has more of a cult following than I realized, in terms of once he says something, that is final, you know, like that, like. And I think that's sick. I think it's sick to have a loyal fan base, man. And again, I don't think Nter's told people to go and say fuck Chazza. I think people have taken that on their own doing. And so Nter, if you're listening to this, Cess, Uzi, even, I don't hate on any of you. Nter, I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I still have respect for you. I apologize that there's been this misinterpretation of what I've said. If there's still an issue, feel free to DM me. Call me even. We'll have a chat about it. But just know these two things. One, I have never spoken in a disrespectful way about you. I may have criticized in a constructive way what you have done, but I have never straight up hated on you and said that you are a piece of shit and never done anything for this scene. I bigged you up, if anything. Number two, if I don't like something, I'm going to say in the most respectful way as possible. I have previously not put out reactions because I weren't feeling the track, and I got hate for that. But Chazza, that's what made your channel what it was. You give honest reactions. And that was a grounding moment, because that's true. That was true. And that's what started steamrolling early on in this Oz thing. When I said I weren't really feeling that track. People were like, what? I reacted that's actually honest? Now again, I'm not going to say I don't like something for the sake of it. I'll always give my reasons why. And if I can't give a reason why, I tend to just say, I don't know. I can't pinpoint it, but maybe it's just not for me. And they are the words that I used in that reaction to your Hitters track. Maybe this song's just not for me. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you disagree with me, let me know why. very, very, very few people actually give me a constructive comment on why they disagree with me. It was either a bunch of "fuck you, you're gronk," or "I agree, Chazza." And I never told people to then speak badly upon you. I say to people, form your own opinion, which is difficult to do. Of course, people are influenced. Probably more than I realize. More of my opinions are influenced by other people more than I realize. I reckon you as an individual, whoever you are watching or listening to this right now, you probably have an opinion on something based on what somebody else says. My opinion on Arsenal's invincible team from 03-04, Liverpool lost 3-0 to Watford, is influenced purely on other people's opinions. Why? Because I weren't old enough to understand what was going on at that time. When Arsenal had that invincible season, I was 6. I weren't old enough to form my own opinion. So now when I look back at it, some of it is on my own opinion based on what I've seen, but I weren't there watching the full 90 minutes. I take snippets of what other people have said and kind of bounce off and squash together my own opinion. The same way when I give my opinion based on old Aussie hip-hop, I go in with a fresh perspective with sometimes zero context. And so that's going to be different to the people who were there, that lived through that, who were there the day that that was uploaded. So yes, do I get things wrong sometimes? Of course I do. Do I give wrong information sometimes? Of course. And I'm working on that. I'm doing my best to make sure that what I say is factual. And then making clear what is the difference between a fact and an opinion. As I said earlier, Nter, to quote, said so such and such and such and such. But my opinion is so my opinion is my opinion. If you don't like it, tell me why you disagree with it. If you agree with it, tell me why you agree with it. What can you add to that? If you're a neutral and have nothing to say, you're just like me. I don't normally comment on YouTube videos. I normally don't. Especially like what videos I watch in my own time, whether that be gaming content or music. I've been watching a guy called Sideways recently who studies fucking film scores and shit. Bit nerdy, but fuck it, I've been enjoying it, can't lie. But I don't comment on them videos. I like them. I'll thumbs them up. I don't normally comment. I'm not normally a commenter. That's just not me. I know some people that live for a comment section. They're in there every single time. And I see some of you. Some of you are in that comment section each and every time, especially with things like the music and the podcast, the things outside of the regular reviews. And I really do appreciate that. But if you don't have an opinion, don't give it. Now with me, I'm in a place with what I do for YouTube where I give my opinion. I don't have to. But that's what I've prided myself off of. Being able to add knowledge to the reaction. Not, yeah, that was sick, man. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We lit up in here. Next reaction video. I don't do that. And again, if you do that, fair enough. You do you, big man. Maybe people are there just for the vibe. Me, I like to go for the angle of entertainment when it's natural and organic. One more walk. But I try to give my opinion because that's what people come to watch my videos for. You want to hear my opinion, which is still crazy to me because to me, everything I say is common sense in terms of the things that I say aren't because I've got a crazy music degree. It's just because I'm a fan of music and I mean that. Does that mean I'm going to get things wrong sometimes? Yeah. But if it's my opinion, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I can understand why you're upset if I put that out on a public platform, but either way, I want to move on from it. So if Nter says nothing from here, we move on. If he says something, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, if he wants to talk about this, I'm happy to talk about this in the DMs. And the same goes to Sesk and Uzi. Again, if anything, I know I was about to end that there, but let me touch on that very quickly. If anything, Uzi's the one who's probably going to be the most pissed off from this video because this is his first impression on a lot of people. It's his first impression on me. With Nter and Sesk, there's a catalogue, especially with Nter, where I've bigged him up plenty of times. You can go type in Chazza Nter reaction, and you'll see that I big him up plenty. Whereas Uzi, this is the only thing most of you have seen from him. I'm not sure if he's uploaded music previously. This is my first time seeing him. So if anyone's pissed, it's probably him. Sesk I've bigged up before. And to be fair, I confused Sesk with Mercs as well, because I typed in, I was like, I'm sure Sesk and Nter did a song before that I really fucked with, but that was Mercs, Not the Way. Really like that song. And so yeah, never said these artists are shit, just didn't fuck with the song. But yeah, either way, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Give me something constructive, and you might see me down there having a debate with you, having a chat. And again, no hate, I'm just, you know me, I'm trying to eat a good food, catch a small vibe, and earn a little p. I'm just trying to pay my bills, big man, and have a good time doing it. That's all. So yeah, appreciate all the support on the podcast. I'm gonna try to keep it as regular as possible, whether that's with a guest or not. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say for today. So yeah, appreciate you guys for watching or listening. And yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. Later.